Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of pets in Capybara Go, and let me tell you, there are so many options to choose from. Each pet brings something unique to the table, whether it's a powerful buff or a special ability that can really change the way you play. But with so many pets, it's easy to feel a little lost when deciding which one to pick. That's why I've put together a detailed pet tier list to help you figure out which pet is best for your team and situation. Now, we all know that the right pet can make a huge difference in your progress, whether you're tackling tough levels or grinding for resources. Some pets will give you that extra edge, while others, well, might not be as useful. But don't worry, we're going to break down each pet's strengths, weaknesses, and overall usefulness so you can make the best choice. So let's get into it and see which pets are worth your time and which ones you might want to leave behind. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking pets in Capybara Go. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Little Orange, Green Leaf Frog, Miss Shroom, Sprout Shroom, Slime Baby, and Little Parrot. Alright, let's talk about the underdogs of Capybara Go. Those pets that might not be the first ones you reach for, but still have their own quirky charm. We're diving into the D tier pets, so grab your snacks, because this is going to be a fun one. First up, we've got the Little Orange. It's a bit of a surprise that this cute little critter made it to D tier, right? With its ability to inflict damage and stun targets, it's actually got a solid niche. If you're looking for a bit of disruption in your lineup, this one's got your back. Sure, it's not going to carry your team, but it can be a handy little sidekick in the right situation. Next, let's chat about Green Leaf Frog. This pet has a great way of doing damage and poisoning its target, making it a nice option if you want to gradually wear down your foes. While it doesn't hit hard enough to steal the show, it does have that sneaky poison effect that can make the difference in a long fight. It's not flashy, but it gets the job done. Then we've got Miss Shroom, who's all about keeping your health topped off. While it only restores a small percentage of lost HP, don't underestimate how important healing can be in a tight spot. In the world of Capybara Go, sometimes staying alive is the key to victory, and Miss Shroom is here to help you do just that, even if it's not in the biggest way possible. Moving on, we've got the Sprout Shroom and Slime Baby, both of which are pretty similar in that they deal low damage. They might not have the most exciting abilities, but they're reliable in their own simple way. And lastly, Little Parrot is here to give your hero a small ATK boost. It's not going to make your hero a powerhouse, but hey, every little bit counts, right? These pets might not be top tier, but they each bring something unique to the table, and sometimes that's all you really need. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Falcon, Chomper, Minotaur, Beetle, Venom Shroom, Canary, and Pinky. Alright, let's talk about some of the C tier pets in Capybara Go. Now these guys aren't exactly terrible, but they aren't quite pulling their weight when it comes to those higher tier pets. You know, the ones that really make a difference on the battlefield. But hey, sometimes you just need a little backup, right? First up, we've got Falcon. It's an epic pet. And while it can deal some serious damage, it's not quite a game changer. Its big claim to fame is its massive DMG skill, but there's a catch. It has a cooldown, so while it hits hard, you'll be left waiting for it to recharge. Still, if you're in a pinch, Falcon can definitely hold its own. Then we've got Chomper, another epic pet, but this one brings a twist. It poisons enemies. Poisoning can definitely mess with your opponents over time. But let's be honest, the damage output is just okay. It's not something you'd rely on to win big battles, but if you need a little extra chaos on the field, Chomper's your guy. Now, let's move on to Minotaur. A rare pet, Minotaur might look intimidating, but it has a pretty straightforward approach. It deals damage and boosts your hero's ATK. While this is a nice little perk, its damage output is just a little underwhelming compared to higher tier pets. But hey, if you're stacking up buffs and need a bit more firepower, Minotaur could be a decent option. Next, there's Beetle, another rare pet, and this one's all about defense. It inflicts damage and increases your hero's DF, which is useful if you're trying to survive longer. Unfortunately, just like Minotaur, Beetle's damage is on the lower end, so you're going to have to really rely on those defensive boosts to make up for it. And last but not least, we have Pinky. Pinky's a rare pet that inflicts damage and increases the damage taken by enemies. It's got average attributes all around, but don't expect it to knock out enemies in one shot. It's more of a support pet that can help set up those big finishing blows. So yeah, these C tier pets are useful in specific situations, but don't expect them to carry your team to victory. They're the kind of pets you'll throw into the mix when you need a little extra edge, but they definitely aren't your go-to for top tier performance. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Glazed Shroom, Flame Fox, Snowy, and Ice Shroom. Alright, let's dive into some of the coolest pets in Capybara Go that sit comfortably in the B tier. These pets might not be the absolute game changers, but trust me, they pack some fun and useful abilities that make them worth your time. First up, we've got Glazed Shroom, the legendary pet that dishes out some solid damage while boosting your hero's skill damage. It's not the flashiest pet, but those extra skill boosts can be pretty handy when you're facing tougher enemies. If you're into maximizing your damage output, this one's definitely worth a look. Next, we have Flame Fox, another legendary pet, but this one brings something a little extra to the table: freeze effects. Along with inflicting damage, the Flame Fox freezes enemies, giving you a chance to control the battlefield and disrupt your opponent's attacks. Imagine locking down a pesky enemy so they can't escape or retaliate. Pretty satisfying art, right? It might not have the raw power of some S tier pets, but it definitely has its place when you need that crowd control. Then there's Snowy, an epic pet that brings the icy touch. Snowy inflicts ice damage and has a chance to freeze the target. If you love the idea of adding some chill to your battles, Snowy is a fun choice. It's especially useful in situations where you need to slow down enemies and take a little more control over the tempo of the fight. It might not freeze everyone, but when it does, it can turn the tide of a battle. Lastly, let's not forget Ice Shroom, another epic pet that not only deals damage but also gives your hero a shield. This combination of offense and defense makes Ice Shroom an interesting choice, especially when you need a bit of extra protection during a fight. It's like having a mini tank alongside you, dishing out damage while keeping you safe from a few hits. So, if you're looking for something that can offer a little bit of everything, Ice Shroom could be your go-to B-tier companion. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Unicorn, Slime King, Purple Demon Fox, Flash, Baby Dragon, Monopoly, Icewind Fox, and Cactus Fighter. Alright, let's talk about some of the best pets in Capybara Go, and trust me, you'll want to stick around to find out which ones really pack a punch. These pets can make or break your gameplay, so it's time to dive into what each one can do. Let's start with Unicorn. This mythic pet inflicts solid damage and increases the damage taken by your targets. What really makes Unicorn shine is its skill that boosts crits. But here's the catch, it only stacks up to 3 times. If your critical damage isn't high enough or your crit rate isn't where it should be, then Unicorn's skill might not be as useful as you'd hope. It's a bit of a hit or miss, but when it works wonders. Now, let's move on to the Slime King, another mythic pet that's pretty incredible. It also inflicts damage and increases the damage taken by targets, but here's why I really like it. The right skills can turn Slime King into a beast, especially in chapters. However, don't get too attached. In certain modes, it might be better to switch to another pet. Still, for a lot of situations, Slime King's got you covered. It's not quite at the top of the tier list, but it's definitely close. Next up, we have the Purple Demon Fox. And no, I'm not misnaming it, despite the fact it's more of a demon than a fox. This mythic pet inflicts damage and increases the damage taken by targets as well. And while it's definitely powerful, its effectiveness really depends on how high your attack stat is. If your attack is lacking, then this pet might not perform as well, which is why it doesn't quite make it to the highest tier. But when your attack is high enough, oh boy, it's a force to be reckoned with. Flash, another mythic pet, is absolutely fantastic for longer fights, especially in the battles. It inflicts damage and increases damage taken by targets, but its real strength lies in the fact that it deals extra damage equal to 6% of the target's scale. This means that in battles that last around 30 rounds or so, Flash can definitely help you defeat enemies. However, if the battle's over too quickly, you might want to consider using a different pet with more immediate damage output. And finally, we've got Baby Dragon, a mythic pet that inflicts damage and increases damage taken by targets, just like the others. It's solid, but not quite the top tier pet. If you want to maximize its potential, you'll need to pair it with skills that increase damage to burning enemies. While it's not the absolute best, Baby Dragon can still hold its own, especially if you're strategically using it to target those burning foes. So, if you're looking for something that can handle itself in battle but isn't overpowered, Baby Dragon's a good choice. The pets in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Piggy, Freya, Elsa, and Little Elle. Alright, let's dive dive into the true powerhouses of Capybara Go, the S-tier pets. You know, the ones that can make you all the difference in any match. First up, we have Piggy, and let me tell you, this little guy is an absolute beast. With the immortal trait, Piggy can take a beating and keep on going. Add in his ability to inflict combo DMG and his bounty effect that boosts ATK and lifesteal rate, and you've got yourself a pet that can dish out serious damage while keeping you in the game for the long haul. If you're looking for a reliable support, Piggy is the one to have. Next up, let's talk about Freya. Now, Freya isn't just any pet. She's an immortal powerhouse too, but with a twist. She focuses on inflicting skill DMG, and when she's in action, she boosts your hero's skill DMG and crit rate. That means more damage in the long run, and who doesn't love watching those critical hits land? If you want a pet that will make your skills shine even brighter, Freya is a fantastic choice. Then there's Elsa, and let me tell you, Elsa is the ultimate enemy control pet. She's got that immortal status as well, but it's her ability to inflict DMG, reduce the target's ATK, and increase the damage enemies take that really sets her apart. She's perfect for softening up enemies and making sure they're not as tough to handle. If you're looking for a pet that can turn the tide of battle in your favor, Elsa's definitely worth having in your squad. And of course, we can't forget about Little Elle. This legendary pet is a healing machine. Lil Elle may not pack the punch and damage like the others, but she more than makes up for it by restoring HP to keep you alive through the toughest moments. Her healing skill is what makes her so useful in every situation, so if you want a reliable support pet to keep you topped off, Lil Elle has your back. Whether you're diving into a challenging fight or just want that extra bit of survivability, Little Elle is a must-have. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.